Okay, and trying to keep a good portion of this documented and the process along the way. This here is the cabinet that I'm working on for where the refrigerator area, where the refrigerator is going to go. So I wanted to get this documented before I got too much further ahead. I'm not sure if I documented any of the parts of cutting out. If not, like I said, I at least want to get that. Not sure if I even edit this out or not, but anyway, here we go. I have this portion cut out, and my next portion for the swag build, especially for my cabinets, because it will be movable, portable, removable. I'm going to want to make sure it's pretty sturdy in its build. My main squareness, once again, is measurement, and this will measure 12.5 by 13.5. And 20 inches. The measurements there. A good 20, about 20 and quarter there. 20 and about 20 and a quarter there. 20 and 16. now you got it all squared off. You have your washers set. It's where you will like to have your anchors and your screws. So now go ahead and screw your screws into where your washers are set. And this is marked where you'll be putting your anchors. Now that I have my washer marked, my screw hole in place, marking my anchor spot, I'll go ahead and set my marker. This is where G glue. It's a tad bit. You only need a tad bit of this crazy glue on this project using this method. So just put your drop of your glue on, and I like to put a piece of tape over it. And I like to put just a piece of tape over that just to hold it in place. One thing I can say about using these roofer caps is this is a perfect fit for your 1-inch bits. So once you mark your area with your bit, this here fits right in place. This fits right into place. So tap your glue, put your washer in there, move right on to the next one, and it lines up. I mean, even with the wedge that it's going to give at the end of the bit, it's going to go in deep enough to where you still going to line up pretty good, and at the same time it's going to give you that little play area just behind the washer. And at the same time, your crazy glue is going to hold it right in place, and you're going to crazy glue your anchor right in place to where your screw lines up. Okay, I have all my washers set and glued. Now I'm going to set the anchors. Try to preserve the tape as much as you can, because you will, because it can come in handy during one more process of this build. So if you're able to, hold on to it. But the key thing is you have the hole set for your anchors. So therefore everything should line up. Whenever you get ready to go back together with it. Now, your parts marked with your anchors, you can go ahead and set them aside for now. They are ready for the next step, but I'm going to go ahead and let the Gorilla Glue dry and do its thing. And then no need to rush it at the moment, so I'll just let this sit and dry, and we'll come back to these once it's done. As I go ahead and expose the place, the holes for the anchors, we'll go ahead and set them in place. For the anchors, I just like to clean the hole out a little bit. So take a Phillips head and just gently clear out the hole. And then fill each opening, each hole with the crazy glue. Try to get a small string going and let it just let it slowly fill itself up. I like to insert my anchor. And then pull it back out and set it back in. Then I'll take the screwdriver and push it just a tad beneath the surface. And let it backfill. At this point, get your remainder anchors set and in place and let them dry. And there are a few examples, phone bills out there. Few methods. You can use the butt the phone together. Use the joint, join them together. Pretty sure there's probably even different styles of different techniques you can use to cut the joint. There's different ways people, you hold them together, you bond them. I might be in a little overkill, so this is my first foamy, and I've got a few hints and pointers from a whole lot of different YouTubers, DIYers, phone builders. So I'm glad to picture them here. And for different parts of the build, I gladly give credit where credit is due. Along with one of the things the build coming across is I was mentioned using screws and anchors, glue, washers. I've seen them use just the sheetrock screws and screw it right in, or with washers or whatnot. And then, like I said, I've seen the method with the screws, the anchor and washer. I don't know what's this called. What is that method? I know Nomad has the phone bones bill, and he basically says it's using the joint here method, getting your pieces together, and they really do stand well on their own by themselves. If you get a nice tight fit. Most of mine are loose and hand cut. Use a hot wire for more precise, more precision, or a more fine tooth blade. A rough blade for most of my cuts. But the thing I want to get into is the method I'm using. I'm giving it a name. Like I said, I've seen it with the screws, the washers, the anchors. What is it called? This is not the foam bone method. I'm just cutting. This is not the foam bone method, although a technique in the foam bone is used to cut the finger joint. I love the joint. I love that for just strength and support as opposed to just butting the ends together. Now, this method I'm using, method I'm using for this build, and I'm referring to, which I'm using throughout, for this build, for me, it's not really it's not really recommended that you use this. It's depending on your build, your purpose, it's dependent on your build. The reason I'm doing it is I'm in a closed area. The reason I'm using this build mainly is because I'm in a small enclosed area, and to keep taping and untaping would really get even more so costly, and just being able to move it, push it, and it pops here after you use it so many times, you know, you're replacing it. This here method is just a more tighter bonding method for me to be able to push my foamy around in my enclosed area, and it is giving me a more sense of security, bonding, tightness that On my tub, I really believe it's a lot of overkill. If you use this method, you begin to develop. If you decide to use this method, you will begin to develop a feel of where you want to actually put the screws. Say like in this cabinet, this area is my third one, and I really limit my screws down to a minimal because the glue. Now I wouldn't really even be using this. One other reason I'm using the S.W.A.G is because I will be moving these pieces around quite often, perhaps, or at least I will have the ability to take them in and take them out and know that along with all the other added stability that's been implied as far as the screening and the skin, the glue, the screw, the anchor, the washer, glue is even going to just give me a little bit more support. So that's what we're going to go with. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And once again, this here is the S.W.A.G method. You screw, your washer, your anchor, and your glue. Put a little crazy glue on the countertop for the sink, so before I get too far into that, I'm afraid I'll come and still a little wet. I'm afraid to come and touch up the small cabinet a little bit, get it ready for the next step. Get it smoothed down to your likeness. You're only gonna smooth it down to get rid of mostly like the rust spots. because you're going to come back and put the compound, the filler over, and you're going to have to smooth it on out again. So I'm just knocking down most of my high areas, some of the creases and wrinkles that may have showed up in the paper. And let's get ready for compound.